Hello my friends, welcome back. I am coming on to do a layout in collaboration with scrapbook.com, and I have got some gorgeous goodies to play with. I've got slimline dies in Stitched Border Strips Christmas. I have got the Peppermint Smooth Cardstock 40 sheets. I have rub-on transfers in Peppermint Holiday, and I love them. And then I have the word fa la la for a word die. I'm also going to decide which one of these thin metal die sets I want to bring in, and I'm kind of thinking the nested squares. Kind of vibing on that right now. So what I'm going to do to get started with all of this is I'm going to cut out some squares of my photos using the die set. This is my daughter Ryan, this is my daughter Shay and her boyfriend, and this is Shay and myself doing smoochies for the camera, all on Christmas Eve 2017. Yes, it's been a minute. And I popped them black and white because I don't know, I've been feeling like doing some black and white photos lately. So I'm going to do that with this in my big shot. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I have so many things I want to do. I'm going to grab some of my smooth white cardstock and do rub-ons on all kinds of rub-ons on them to turn them into kind of like little die cuts because I think they're so beautiful. So that will give me a little bit more leeway so I can move things around. Next, all right, so the slimline dies, I love them. I love the mix of them. I love that you get this embossed vibe, all of that. So I'm going to cut out a bunch of colors. Yes. And then I'm going to just move them around. I'm thinking I'm doing a design where I have a bunch coming this way, a little bit less going this way, and a little bit less going this way, kind of so I can have 3 clusters, but we'll see how that goes. Excited about that. I've got my adhesive. I'll be popping up those strips on my gorgeous, yummy favorite strip adhesive. I have got my little adhesive runner. Guys, these are awesome. They feel really good in your hand. Got some scissors, got all of the things. So I'm going to sign off for a minute while I do all of this homework, you know, rubbing on rub-ons onto cardstock, all that kind of thing, and I'll be back in a jiffy. So look at how smooth these rub-ons go on. They are crisp and gorgeous. So yeah, I just thought I would do a quick jump in to show you what I was doing. After you cut them out, just smooth them down just for a little tiny bit of pressure with your fingers, and they'll stick to the page a little bit. And then just relax, hang out, rub them on a little bit. And then when you start to peel them up, just go nice and slow, because if you missed a little spot, I did right here, you can just go right back over it, lay the film right back down, go right back over it, and then peel up. Super easy. And then I'll go ahead and detail cut them out. All right, I'm going to get back to work. I have got little strips everywhere and it's quite fun. So I have lots of leftovers. It's going to appear as well, so we can use those on cards and other layouts and all of that. How fun. Like one little zip through my big shot, and I have got projects lined up for days. So I also went ahead and detail cut out my gorgeous little bits. I just have to decide, ooh, I like that one there because it's looking in. Then I've got the cutest little nutcrackers. And then maybe in this one, we can have all of these little ornaments coming down. Okay, so we have all of that going on. I did scuff up the outside edges of my cardstock as well. Now, I still have to cut out my pictures with my nested squares, but I did want to do this so I could get an idea of what other little bits that I want to get on here, because what I can do is, you know, have additional little details. But what I think I'm going to do is get these pieces on. I want to tear off each of the edges to expose a little bit of white once I get them on, I think. And yeah, so I'm going to create my 3 clusters at the varying lengths. We'll have this, we'll have a photo each. I also need to map my photos. Guys, I have so much to do, so I'm going to keep working. So I've got this going on. So what I think I want to do is get my photos tacked down. Oopsie. There we go. And I went ahead and cut them out with these little squares. Look at how it leaves this nice little border line. It's one of those touches that makes a big difference. So how great is that? So I have this kind of like aqua minty one on that side. I've got a nice bright red for this piece. And the bottom one is that great pop of pink, which I thought worked really well with this larger photo. So let's go ahead and get that. Now I'm looking at this and I've got a lot of white space left, which is gorgeous and bright and wonderful. But what I was thinking of doing is getting a little bit of splatter work on it before I start tacking the rest of these pieces down. So I'm going to move my cute little nutcrackers. I'm going to move this picture of Shay and Nick with, oh my goodness, I've got a little rogue piece that wants to get tacked down. I've got my cute little ornaments that I'm going to have up in that corner, and Ryan and the reindeer. So I'm going to find some Distress Oxides and get some splatters on here, as well as I think my Dina Wakley white gloss spray. So let me get some splatter colors with Distress Oxides and get some splatters on here. One moment. So I'm going to do some pretty darn simple splatter work. I have got Speckled Egg, Kitsch Flamingo, and Chipped Sapphire. And I thought I would just see how this looks around my cluster areas, also known as getting a little something something on all that white space. So I'm going to do some small splatters as things go, just around those areas to create a little bit of interest. So I've got my Distress Oxides little splatters, and now I want to do just a little bit of some gloss white in there and let it dry while I decide what other rub-ons I'd like to cut out. Now, it is white on white, but we will get a little bit of a gloss kind of a vibe, and we'll also have this on our smooth cardstock, our scrapbook.com exclusive smooth cardstocks, to give it a nice little snowy vibe. How fun is that? So I've got my pieces on. I like this configuration here, but I need something extra. So let's go ahead and get these rub-ons to go on the sides of these photos. I don't know, I just want to use everything. And then I'm thinking some of these little random bits, these little splashes, to be rubbed on directly around the photos. How fun! So at this point, I have all of my pieces are tacked down. I am loving the feel of it. I cut out Fa La La 3 times and popped it up on just a little bit of foam adhesive for some lifts. So I've got my title. So I'm going to just spend a little bit of time, like I said before, getting some of these cute little bits and pieces kinds of rub-ons on here to fill out my clusters a little bit. And I think I'm going to be done. Now, yeah, I think I'll be done after I get just a couple more of these little bits completed. And I think it's downright fun. Now, when you use these cute little bits and pieces of rub-ons, it totally lets you use them up. But I didn't want to do it until I saw what I had going on here. So I think this one right here, and it's going to, you know, fill out my clusters and brighten them up and all of that kind of thing. It's going to be a little bit more of a struggle because I do have a textured cardstock. But even if they do not come out perfectly, it'll be okay. We'll love the look, right? Let's see how this one looks. I'll just do the one on camera and then I will go ahead and take a look at the rest. So I like to slowly peel it to see, there we go, if there's any little spots I need to tack down more. There we go, how cute. So, yep, I'm just gonna add. I'll be right back. So the very last thing I want to do is just do a little bit more with some white splatters, and this layout will be finished. So You try to go a little more gently than I normally do. Just want to have just a little bit of the white splatter on my pretty rub-ons to bring them all together. It gives me just a little bit of sparkle as well. You get a little bit on my fa la la word. Not trying to cover it, just trying to add to it just a little tiny bit. There we go, perfect. And then the same thing over here, just on a couple little spots up on my pretty ornaments to bring it all together. And then that very last cluster. So I will have some still shots to follow. I will also have links to all of the products that I used, the event that you want to grab something for yourself. And that is what I have for you guys today. Still shots to follow, of course. And of course, all of these products can be found at scrapbook.com. So you can play along with these goodies. Guys, these rub-ons are absolute goals. I'm having so much fun with them. All right, let me show you quickly the finished layout using rub-ons for all of my embellishments. How fun is that? So some are popped up on foam adhesive, some are flat to the page. They went on beautifully, even on textured cardstock, which I could not believe, but that is that, my friends. I'll be back ever so soon with another video. Still shots to follow right there. Goodbye for now.